Okay, you are talking about Brahma Chatushpat, so go ahead.
Wow. I was writing so much about. You are there?
Yeah, I'm here. I switched off camera to have better connection.
Okay. Okay. There were several writing yesterday about, but wait a minute.
You wanted to say something. You were talking already, and I interrupted you with this installation.
Yeah, but I don't. Where is it? So, yes, the basic thing was that the force as such, it is not just a force, but it is a presence. Anything that has a force, this force is a presence with knowledge. And this is something important because when you play, when you do things, you most of the time you overpower. You use this force according to your own imagination and to your own memory. So I was writing on this yesterday evening, and it led me to, well, it is, it is a lot. It is a lot of explanation, and now I don't exactly know how to enter it because there was too much going on.
Yeah, I'm listening. Yeah. You have something written or something to project maybe, and we can look at it.
Yes, I have something written, but this written thing is like this.
Okay.
So I would have to write it down better. No, I don't remember. Wait a minute. Yeah, it is. The picture is very complex now, and I started with this that each movement. Because I had something in mind. Anyway,
Go
I
ahead.
just
Yeah,
tell you what
yeah.
I just tell you what I was writing. That each movement creates a disorder, and in the complexity of the physical part, which needs a continuous adaptation. When you do new movements and you introduce new ideas, then there is a kind of harmony which has been installed anyway, automatically. This harmony becomes a disorder. Now, when you introduce things like when your consciousness looks up, let's say, to be in contact with something which could put in order the things. which could unite the things. Because if your consciousness is in the moment and it is involved in that idea, in let's say horizontal ideas, and tries to unite it, you can't unite that. You will concentrate on that and you will forget that. You concentrate on that and you will forget that. So what you need, it is to have a kind of central thing around which you can, which can unite the whole thing, to which you can look and look at that what you are doing, and that gathers together into as if it would be part of that oneness. So you don't need to look at it separately, one by one, but you look at through the eye of the oneness. I don't know how to explain.
Yes.
It is like if you have, if you look for, yeah, I don't know. But you know, you can make out what I say.
Right.
It is like if love by itself was at the center of that what you do. And this love, if you look at then down on everything that you do, it would fill the whole diversity of the action with the same force. And all would relate to this love. So the physicality would be different, the emotions would be different, they would find a center altogether. Now, this Brahman Chatushpad, it is a kind of thing like that. Because it is also that you have the mind which is looking at things. And this mind, it has to be, it has to be a mind which can unite that what it sees with that what the being is. Oh, it's difficult to talk about.
No, that is it's like the sun shining from above. And the rays are reaching to all the beings, but because they are reaching to all the beings, so to say, everyone has light and everybody has sight and can see one another and can see the sun. But the sun is the generator, the origin, which can reach to everyone. And everyone can reach to one another through this light of the sun. There's something very... So when there is the higher concept or the higher vision, or the higher level of consciousness is reaching to the lower ones. And that is very... it is in this hierarchical relations. That's why we move to the height to see the greater heights. We cannot see greater heights until we come to those heights. So the hierarchy from is there. And so if you say there is the love above everyone, reaches to everyone. So it is like from above or from the higher level, which is more including all other levels. It's a vision of the sun.
So, yeah, that's why.
Yeah, go ahead.
You know, that's why to see the force as a presence which knows what it does. You remember we were talking about it, that when you throw a pencil somewhere, it stops with the perfection that you are looking for when you are playing an instrument. So if you look at this force and you look at this presence of knowledge of what it wants to do,
Mm.
then you will find an answer. It is like if you would listen while you are doing that movement in music, you would listen already to the answer of what it wants to do,
Mm.
where it wants to go. You would not impose it on that force. This force naturally is not is a psychological thing, because when you go from one place to the other one, like you make a scale, you do a scale. So each note needs a different approach, a different, because it says something else. It needs a different speed,
Mm.
because psychologically the steps are different. If you just go na 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 na, no, everything is the same. All the speed of your execution is the same. Now, if you listen to it and you start listening to that force which is inside, which is like na na na, already you start changing it. You start adopting the speed.
Mm.
That's why,
What you're doing
yeah,
is interesting. You're defining the hearing faculty. Um,
exactly.
Basically, hearing faculty is this, um, what do you call
Yeah,
it? Yeah, deepening the sense, the meaning of the being. So you will
exactly.
have to find the meaning in it, some meaning, uh, and that is
Yeah.
listening, basically. Yeah.
Now that playing, that you play that in that or that speed, this seems to me speech expressing.
Mm.
Now I wanted to ask you this, because to me, when you say, when you listen and you understood, then you understood it with the mind.
Mm. No, you don't understand with the mind. The mind is actually, uh, you understand. Mind is the last station which you explain to something what you did. So the mind is the last resort or the last arrival. Yes, the mind will apprehend. The mind will hold it and tell you, "Oh, it is this. It is here." This what mind will do for you.
Mm.
But
Yeah,
before mind will do this, you will have to do everything else. You will have to deepen the listening. Mind
yeah.
does not deepen the listening.
No,
Mind
no, no. It is true.
will state only. No, I'm just trying to define this. It's also for me for first time a very interesting new way of defining faculties, because we are about this Brahma Chatushpat. Yes, what the mind does.
Mm.
It is we are explaining to the mind what we did. He has to acknowledge it, to state it, and to hold it. So once
Mm.
you do it, the mind will have it, then you will have it. Before that, you don't have it, as if. Before mind holds it for you, what you did, you will not have it. You will do it, but you will not have it. You will not be able to repeat it. You, in the same manner, you will not be able to explain it and to become even aware of it totally. You will be half aware. It
This
will.
is exactly the point. Exactly. This is
Mm.
the point. And this is very interesting because I have a fight with everyone here. Because I talk about it and I try as to define it for myself
Mm. Mm.
also. And if they are for it or against it, it is always a help. Even if they are against it, is a help.
Sure, sure, always. Yeah, even
But
sometimes
there
more
was
help. Mm. True, true.
there was this French pianist, and I told her these things, no, because they bother me. I am preoccupied with them. I try to know what is actually happening. As when you play, then you can see actually how this force, because if Agni is the knower of his being and of his force, of his action, he must be somewhat established in the hearing. And his force must be established in the understanding. But both understanding and hearing, they are different faculties of that one thing, of that one force. You tell me if I am wrong. Now, if you understand how it goes, then you start listening differently.
Mm-hmm.
Because you start listening to a response that this force gives you within your own being, of itself, as it expresses itself. Because if you don't do that, you just overpower, you just use the force in a way or the other, which your mind has learned how to use the force. Your teachers have told, no, you have to do here like this and you have to do like that. And it is your mind basically that will drive that force, and not that what the force wants by itself.
Very true. By the way, you are anticipating something very deep and very um, intuitive, which is nearly was never expressed, and I really want to really to show you why. But the problem is here that on this computer I don't have this file. I would like to come to this file. Okay, I'm sending this one IPK to you, oops, and to me, and I will take it from this other computer, and then I will have to refer to it. What you did is this: you split. You are not yet totally. When you say, you tell me whether I am right. Yes, you are right in the way of thinking. Only you didn't find the term for it, for understanding. The understanding term is heavily misused. Yes, understanding happens when the action of consciousness arrives to our mind and mind can apprehend it. That mind states, oh, here it is. Yeah. If mind doesn't do this, here it is thing, apprehension, then we do not know whether it was there or not in our outer consciousness. We will be kind of wondering what happened to us. I felt so strange, I do not know what it was. It was good. I have no words for it. I have no idea what it was. Yeah? Idea means that mind didn't apprehend it, our outer mind, but our inner consciousness worked. So the hearing does not belong to this outer apprehension. It belongs to the inner comprehension. It belongs to this exactly that. What is listening is pervading or penetrating into the meaning of the event or meaning of the being, the sound. You can play sound, as you said, you can play apprehensively. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, si, do, si, la, sol, fa, mi, re, do. This is apprehensive. I will have to give you the gamma. But if I do comprehensive, then I will have to do do, re. I have to charge it to pervade it with perception of my consciousness. I will have to do something much more than that. I will have to find meaning in that
Exactly.
articulation. Meaning of
Exactly.
articulation belongs to hearing.
Yeah.
Not to the mind with its apprehensive
Yes.
stating what it is. We don't need
But
maybe
wait
to.
a minute.
Mm.
This is very interesting because it is true what you say. Now, the
And not
meaning of
only in music,
articulation.
and not only in music.
Yes.
You will be surprised. It's in every action, by the way, hearing is there. In
Yes.
any action. Mm.
Now, what the faculty of expression? This
Word.
must be a
Word.
word. Exactly.
Yeah.
And
And
this
that is
is
I will vibrate it out of myself. I will
Exactly.
comprehensively, meaningfully vibrate myself out. This is what it is.
Yes,
Mm. I will
exactly.
express myself.
Now it's beautiful. Exactly. This is also that what I feel. Anything, any action is a vibration of the self.
Right.
Now there is this other thing, which is because you said one beautiful thing. My mind is established in my speech,
Mhm.
and my speech is established in my mind.
Mm.
Now, if I put it in terms of expression in music, if when I play, then my mind is established in my speech, in that vibration. The seeing is established in that vibration because
Yes.
geometry. I have to see what what the feeling does. It is what was it? It was viveka. No?
Mhm.
The
Viveka, yeah.
feeling is if
You're not hanging or something. Um, I am
I'm just trying.
projecting you
Okay.
the file which I want to us to go through. And we will,
Oh, nice. How can you do that?
yeah, we can really do, and this will be recorded, and that's what is good about this program, that we can see the file. And here, what I wanted to give sense of these six um, major faculties, which we see them here in the scheme. I will come here. It is. And here it is very interesting thing that self-knowledge, which is here in the first line, yeah, there is active and perceptive, or subjective and objective. So if and it belongs to the seeing part, yeah. But it is very interesting thing that seeing, though it is considered by us very important, most important, more important than even sound and speaking, it is not so. It is apprehensive, as Sri Aurobindo says. It belongs to the apprehensive faculty. It states the event. It is kind of, um, how to say, apprehending the event. It's apprehensive cognition. For example, we see the image of things, but how do we know what we see? We know it by hearing. We do not know what it is by seeing. By seeing, we are holding the event, and by hearing, we know what it is. And this looks
Yes. Now, for me,
ridiculous for anybody who would not think of in these terms, but for us, it may make sense, because hearing is this penetration, as you said, penetration into the meaning of the event. When we see the face, we see the face first, and then we pervade, we penetrate, we how to say, we go deeper into the meaning of the event. We see the thing, and then we go deeper into ourselves and into the vibration of this being, and then we connect to that vibration and we say, no, this is not really true. This is not really that what I thought. This is not what I am looking for. How do we know? It is this hearing, which the vibration of the being, which gives us um, the sense of its existence, how it vibrates, how it comprehensively connects to all other beings, to all other vibrations, how it interacts with the whole world, with all things. This is what we are looking through hearing. We want to perceive its comprehensive relation, not apprehensive appearance, not the appearance we are looking at. Appearance is only holding it, but comprehensive has to relate it to everything else. And this relation is meaning, comprehensive cognition. So
Yes,
yeah.
it is very good because I had one text here, and it was about holding and leaning. We were talking already about it.
Mm-hmm.
And this holding in execution, this seeing, is very important. Otherwise, nothing could be expressed.
Mm.
And it is, if I hold the directions in the physical of the movement, then I can install a permanence
Mm.
in it, that I can always point to the to the same direction. If I do that, then you will have the feeling when you hear, you will go through the hearing into that sameness of that, and you will hear something which is beyond, which is, let's say, timeless,
Mm.
in that frame which runs in time.
Mm.
I don't know.
Yeah, so the form which appears to us, which we apprehend, is necessary to hold on to the event, but
Exactly.
just to hold in order to know it, and to know it, to comprehend it, to understand it. Understanding relates to hearing, not
Yes.
seeing.
Yes. Yes. Now it comes to me the parallel that if you look for expression and let's say you hold, if you lean against the wall, you hold the direction of leaning,
Mm.
and the body will um, will lean into it, and it will know against what it is leaning into, and it will have confidence, and you will see it in the expression of the body that it is perfectly leaning into that which is holding. There are part muscles which are holding, and the others they can relax. Now this seems stupid and it seems small, but
Nothing,
this is
nothing is
the,
small here.
the way.
Yeah, right.
That's what. That's why. But it seems that yeah, it is clear. What the hell? Why do you make such fuss about it?
Right.
No, I make such fuss about it because one part, the holding part, it is seeing, and the other part, which expresses, it is not the holding part which
Right.
sees, but it is that leaning part which adapts itself to it.
Right.
And this I find that in terms of expression, it is the most central thing without which penetrates to other domains.
Very
Because
interesting.
the seeing, it is not only that you see the directions in terms of physicality, but these directions, they stand for something on other levels, on the level of emotions, on the level of your mind, on the level of your soul. Now, we can talk about this, but for example, if you take love and faith, love is holding, and faith is leaning into it.
Mm. Or maybe the opposite. Faith is holding, and love is actually acting upon it. You see, for me now, hearing becomes more important because it comprehends. It comprehends. You know, it relates its meaning to all other meanings. It is meaningful in its own appearance. So the form as such is not love. The form, what we have is only a kind of, we are it doesn't matter. What I thought faith is holding onto that where love is to act. And love is much vaster and it goes
But you know,
beyond.
but yeah, but how can I hold on to something if I don't know if it is there?
Faith, that's why faith. Faith is that you hold on to it and without knowing it, you already project your holding and then it starts working. And you don't have yet form, but you have already comprehensive cognition. You kind of as Schmidt says, you pre, uh, how he uses it, this pre-science, he uses this, you preconceive, yeah, this event. You already anticipate its being there and you kind of plunge into it. You direct yourself towards it. Though you don't have yet a form, you don't have yet a contact, but it is in you as pre-science, as knowledge which you preconceive because you already had this experience. You somewhere in the depth of your being have contact. Only on the surface you don't have. That's why you can believe. You can believe because you have a contact inside yourself. But it's not the point. It's all right. Yeah, if you say like this, I will have to rethink it in a different way. It's just suggestion that love is
Yeah,
Mm,
I feel the same as you. I understand what you want to say, and
mm.
I completely agree with you.
Yeah, I understand.
The only thing is that love is first. That if I turn towards something, love comes first.
Yeah.
So as sight comes first when I see something, I might not know what it is,
Mm.
but I turn towards something and I hold it with my eyes, and then I start observing it, and I start. I don't know. I
I know what you mean by love is first. Love is that movement of faith which we uh, apprehend first by our mind. You see, our mind works like this it apprehends something as available in our movement of consciousness, and it tells us this is it, this is what we have. But we do not have this habit, we all together, all humanity, uh, to really see what happened before this, yeah, when mind apprehends. We start with apprehensive perception of the mind. Oh, here it is, this is what it is, from here we start, and this is the end of the process. And here we kind of we do not look deep at what happened before that our mind could apprehend this event as love. Yeah. So of course love is first and the last force in us, in actually in every movement. But that the mind apprehends is really an interesting point. That's what you were trying to say all the time, that the hearing is different from apprehensive consciousness. There is a sight in it because you have to hold on to the image, music, you have to hold to the notes for God's sake, yeah? To the sound hold, to the to the instrument. You have to hold the instrument, violin. You have to hold on to it. Otherwise there will be no music. But this holding is not the meaning of what you will be playing. The playing will be, as you rightly say, always readjusting holding, because the comprehension will come through this. Hearing will readjust, you pressing on the strings will readjust your muscles, will readjust. Why? Because it will be comprehensively correcting the holding.
mm,
And this is something, and in this way expressing something deeper, music, yeah? some some intention, because the word is an intention, self-expression. It's the most exciting, actually, thing to think about. I'm very, very glad that we have this understanding of apprehensive and comprehensive difference of our consciousness. By the way,
Mm.
this is not an easy topic, and I don't have many people understanding it. It's only you, and there is one more lady from Russia who understands it. Only one I
Mm.
know. It's two people with whom I can talk freely in this way, excited way. Really, it's you and Natalia. I will show you Natalia, but there is nobody
Okay.
else. Even Rod would be kind of thinking very long and then saying something which is of different kind, and that would
Yeah,
be,
we can try.
yes. If we could really talk to him, he will agree eventually because our enthusiasm will take over. We have this energy, you know.
No, yeah, I find this key things
Mm.
for also in regard to interpretation, because finally you are interpreting these faculties, what they are in the world. Now, if you look at the Brahms, or if you look at Bach, or if you look at any other music, it really doesn't matter what you look at.
Mm, mm, mm,
It is not so important. The more important it is how these faculties work.
mm.
And
What
if they can lead to an expression of, yeah,
exactly. And when they can lead to this expression of music in that particular moment of time as true event to that particular moment of time, not the same music. There is no the same music. There is always new time and new music, always new. And it has to be expressed in the most true way, according to the instruments, to the holding, to the people who are listening, to everything. And there will be always this readjustment, because hearing is readjusting the holding. The holding is the notes, the given framework of the sound. It is written as an idea, yeah? As an event, as a message. But um, but playing is something different, expressing. Speaking is different from the text you are reading. Every time you read the text, you will read it differently, with different accents, with different meanings. You will find a different sense of it, and so on. And the music is the same. Today you made a breakthrough. You said about readjustment of holding of the world. This leaning will be, you used another word, but I'm using in my understanding, readjusting all the time, being conscious of how you hold the world, you know, and to hold it properly in time, you will have to readjust yourself. You will have to, to change the pressure from one leg to another, from one bit of
exactly.
the shoulder to another. This is the comprehensive readjustment, uh,
Yes.
which, which is hearing, which is this.
Yes, and but this is always in a polarity, to something which has these two poles.
Right, right, right.
And there where Sri Aurobindo says, if you go into this analysis, you come finally to the point that you see only two things.
Mm,
You see the individual and you see the universe. You see God and you see the individual.
mm.
I don't know,
No, he
you,
says
you
you
remember this
see, yeah,
passage?
you see the self and the Lord. You see
Yes.
the being and consciousness. Now, this
Mm.
being belongs exactly to this apprehensive cognition of the self, because it is the recognition of the being, of the form. Form is the being, yeah? And the
Yeah,
comprehensive cognition is consciousness, which knows it, understands what this being is about, and
exactly.
and that is very true. Yes, it comes to
No,
this.
this one is, it is true. It is like that. It is like how you said. And you can actually enter in contact, you know. And this is the most incredible thing, that it is possible.
So in the ancient, in the Brahmanas and Upanishads, they speak about nama and rupa. This is the most precise definition, name and form. The form is the seeing and thinking, and the hearing and speaking is the name. So this name is giving it an explanation, or is giving it a comprehensive meaning, or explains what it is to our consciousness, to our being, I mean to us, to our surface being, to our surface consciousness mind, which can apprehend it now as such. And the seeing and the direct kind of contact with the form is that apprehensive consciousness, which can hold on to it, and the comprehensive part can do the job. So the consciousness can do the work. And these are nama and rupa, absolutely precise definition, form and name. So name is knowledge and form is form, force, power. So here in this scheme, when I write self-knowledge, it's not totally correct. It is, and that's why I write here apprehensive cognition. Yeah? It is something, it's not knowledge. It is rather self, I don't know what, self-perception or something. The self-perception of the being, or the perception of the self, of the being, the recognition of the being, the statement or the availability of the being in consciousness. That's what it is. And comprehensive cognition is knowledge. It is the only level of where consciousness works and comprehends what it is. Seeing the thing doesn't help. It will not tell you what it is. You have to understand what it is. Seeing the tree without knowing what it is will not help you. You will not see much. You will see only a form. Form will not tell you what it is. You have to use the comprehensive part. And it is happening automatically, and we are not thinking about it anymore. It just happens. And then there is memory levels and so on, which are helping us to remember what it was, and through experience kind of reconstruct the comprehension. But comprehension must be there. And sometimes if you switch off comprehension, a person can see everything, but he will not understand the thing in which world he is. You know, can you imagine we switch off comprehension? And I'm sitting in this room and looking at these computers and listening to these sounds. I would have an idea what it is all about and who it is and what is going on. If I switch off this comprehensive part, hearing. We call it hearing because it is manifested in the outer consciousness as hearing, yes? But it has its inner domains from which we comprehend the thing. The perception of the vibration of the being, how it is comprehensively interwoven into all other vibrations of the being. And this is what it is hearing. I will have to see these relations, meaningful relations. Okay, I'm too excited, most probably. Kind of carried on, carried away. You have to go, yeah, or something? We already spoke quite a long time.
She went to the service, told her.
All right, so let us connect then on a Friday, sorry, on Saturday, 8 o'clock. I will send him an invitation and to you through this Zoom. Now we will connect through Zoom.
The problem with Sunday was that we have visit. Paulo is coming every Sunday.
Not Sunday, Saturday, sorry.
Yeah, Saturday is fine.
Saturday, yes, Saturday, 8 o'clock in the evening.
Ah, okay.
Okay, and let's see what
Okay,
happens.
be there.
Mhm. All right.
Yes. In any case, if I manage to write down this thing, whatever, then I will send it. This is not so long, but it has to do also with force. Let's see.
Okay.
We'll see